But Clayton, let's get to your anger because I mean, we could see it, and that's why you got to watch us on YouTube. You got to subscribe. The podcast does not show you the fury in the eyes. Austin and I are looking into just the most vile, evil, furious eyes of Clayton right now as he's thinking about Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, the movie. Why, Clayton? Why are you upset
not a movie?
about this?
It's not a movie. Stop calling it a movie because AMC A-List doesn't think it's a movie. AMC A-List precludes it from my subscription. Okay. And not only that, no refunds.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
No refunds. Okay. So here's what happened.
Why would you want a refund?
Stop it. Don't, Pat, if you're going to just like goose my butt on this, let me get it out because this is a serious matter. Okay. And I see your little impish smile and you're going to try to goose my little butt about it. And I don't want to, it's just going to make me more angry.
Right.
Unless
well, people love that.
Do they? You love it. Here's the thing. So Pat already had plans to see this film. Okay. Yes. So we weren't going to go see it together. And usually Pat takes care of the A-list. He's in the entourage. He leads our A-list entourage. He books the tickets. We just go along. Okay. Right.
There's always a Vince in an entourage. And
so he's the Vince. I'm not going to say who I am, drama, but I was going to see this with a friend and we were going to take care of the tickets. So we're lost because we're in the same entourage as Pat and we're like, what, what's going to happen here? Never had to do it before. So we can't get it done and we're trying to figure it out. And so we're like, okay, we'll just do the old school way where it's like, what's your seat? Tell me where you are and I'll get the one next to you. Like we're some sort of, like it's the Stone Age all of a sudden, okay? And so this friend says, oh, this movie isn't eligible for A-List. And I was walking home from my job and I was like, what?
And you're covered in soot.
I'm covered in soot. I trust this person a lot, but you have to just double check because maybe this person sees a lot of movies. So sometimes they may have booked themselves too many movies. And so their next one would not be covered, right? Because you can only see three a week. So I was like, oh, that might be the case. No, I had no other movies booked. This was precluded from my A-list.
Right.
And not only that, so then I'm like, okay, do I even want to see this movie? Because it's not even a movie. It's the thing about it is it should not be promoted as a movie if it's not covered under AMC's A-List program. Fathom events aren't, right? It's a Fathom event. Just call it a Fathom event, but they won't because they cut Fathom out of it because they didn't want Fathom to even have a taste. So now it's this weird middle ground where it's this special event on the weekends. That's why they didn't do it during the week because then it would be a regular movie and they'd have to cover it. So it's like, I'm looking at this and I'm furious. I'm texting Pat. I am furious that I have to pay out of pocket an AMC A-List subscriber, a person who keeps their lights on. I keep your lights on, AMC. Me, not the Swifties. They don't keep your lights on. I do. Okay. And I'm paying out the ass for this $19.89 for this movie, for this 3-hour slog of a movie with somebody who's already ruined the NFL season for me. And I have to sit there and I have to pay to see this. I was furious. I'm still furious. Okay.
So you don't think it's the movie?
And it's not a movie. And then I go and I book my ticket and I see no refunds. No refunds? Are you kidding me? What if I am a hardworking person that has a wife and kids and something happens at my kid's soccer game and we have tickets for later and I have to take them to the hospital? Sorry, you're out $19.89 for all your kids and your wife and their little friends. Because no refunds. Sorry, guess what?
Oh boy. I think he's blown out. I think he's blown out all of his equipment. I have never seen anger like this. And I have watched people be beaten in the street near to death. And I've never seen this level of anger. Austin, have you tried, are you an AMC A-list member, Austin?
No, so we actually have no AMCs around me. The closest AMC is like 30 plus minutes away. So I'm a Regal Crown guy or whatever,
Right.
whatever it is, the Fast Pass or
Right.
whatever the Regal subscription thing is. I have that, and it's the same thing. Yeah, you can't use that for this Taylor Swift movie or this Taylor Swift documentary, whatever. You can't get a
Right.
refund. I heard about all of that, and I think it is absolutely ridiculous too.
Okay.
Especially to be paying $20. So I'm with you, Clayton, on that one. That is absolutely ridiculous.
It's like, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you're back. Your equipment's back.
And I was not doing an impersonation of the "Can you hear me now" guy. That was just a normal thing. I'm not talking about struck work. I'm not doing an impersonation. I can't. I'm an actor. I can't do impersonations. I was just saying a phrase that people say.
Right.
Okay. Here's the thing about this is that I could have seen Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter for my base fee of what I pay for A-list. Okay. That is a movie. That is a film. I could see Killers of the Flower Moon in any sort of format I want. It's taken, it's covered by my A-list. Why? If this is a actual movie, if this is a true film, why is it not being covered by A-list? It's greed on the part of Taylor Swift. And it's greed on the part of AMC.
Clayton, she saved movie theaters last weekend.
She saved movie theaters. You know who saved movie theaters? You know who's saving movie theaters is the person who pays almost $30 a month, even if I never go see a movie. Those are the people. It's on the backs of those people that the lights are still on, not Taylor Swift. How dare you, Pat? So you're an A-lister.
You would say
I'm the savior. I'm the savior of the theaters. You're the savior of the theaters. The A-listers are. We're the ones who pay.
What about the Swifties?
Don't you dare. Because they bop in for one weekend and bop out. I'm there in the trenches. When there's no movies because of the SAG strike, when we're back to how it was in 2020, 2021, who's going to still be an A-list member? I am. Maybe, or maybe I'll cancel. Maybe I'll cancel because of this is atrocity. This is offensive to me.
So then I think if the SAG strike, or the production shutdowns affect the release schedule, I think we're just going to need more Taylor Swift films in the theater in 2024. We're going to need those Swifties to come through again the way they did this past weekend.
You
$90 million.
You cannot take advantage of your fan base for that long. But unless you're
loving it.
Unless you're Kiss. Kiss can do it. People are, buried in Kiss coffins. Will people be buried in Taylor Swift coffins? Who knows? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, we're decades away from learning the answer to that.
But what I do know is before we tout this person as a savior, think about the people that were hurt. Think about the hardworking men and women who had to pay out of pocket for this when they didn't expect it, when they already have a subscription. And if anything happens in their life, sorry, no refunds. Are you kidding me? Sorry, no refunds? No refunds is galling. That is terrible. I could get a refund on Scorsese. I could get a refund on Nolan, but I can't get a refund on Taylor Swift and whoever directed this. I don't even know who the director is of this movie. Was it AI? Did she just have robots shooting this film?
Come on.
No, who knows?
Major motion picture that made $90 million last weekend.
If it was a named person, we would know. If it was Bo Burnham, we would know. It ain't. We don't know who directed this movie. Okay? If you don't know who directed a movie, then it's not a movie.
Who directed Casablanca?
That's that's a bad question because it's fucking some jobber from who knows?
That's
not a movie. That's a film. Stop it.
So are you saying, listen, Austin, obviously you say you're with Clayton in the sense that it's a disappointment. This wasn't offered on A-list or on the Regal plan and that there's no refunds. But do you go as far as Clayton as to say that Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, the movie, is not actually a movie?
It's not eligible for Best Documentary at the Oscars. So, I mean, what is this thing? Like, I kind of...
It's a concert film.
It's a money grab.
Oh.
We should meet in the middle and say it's a Fathom event. It's a Fathom event.
Yep, but guess who didn't get any? Fathom.
It's a Fathom events. Yeah.
We love Fathom events, Clayton.
Yeah.
We've been saying for years.
I like Fathom events when they are on their face a Fathom event. When I look through my A-list, I'd be like, you know what? It would be nice to go see an opera, but I don't want to pay the extra money, so skip it. Right? If I wanted to pay extra money, I'd see an opera. I'd see movie like music that lasts forever. Okay.
Right.
That's what I would go see. That's what I'd pay $20 for, 1989 for, or whatever. That's what I would pay for an opera. That's real culture. That's worthy of the church that is the theater.
The 1989 though is a nice little in joke that her fans appreciate.
Yeah, of course it is. And that's great for them. But it ain't great when it comes out of my bank account. I'm going to stare at that 1989 and I'm going to know what she did to me. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to print that out. Right. I'm going to print it out and I'm going to put it up on my wall and I'm going to circle it so I can look at that 1989 on my Discover card. And I'm going to say, this is what you did to me.
So is your issue though that Fathom, the company Fathom, did not get a piece of the profits here? Because that's really the only difference is that her at AMC did not deal with a middleman.
We know as moviegoers that what Fathom events are, they are not within the bounds of our A-list. It's an agreement. We said that. When we signed it, they said, well, you're not going to be able to see operas. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I understand. Right. You're not re-releases, some re-releases of the Fathom events, you're not going to be. Okay, I understand that. Right.
Right. You can't see Clerks 3 with A-list.
Oh, shit.
Because that was a Fathom event.
You can't see the new season of The Chosen.
You can't see the new season of The Chosen.
But guess what?
Those are films.
We knew it. We knew it going in. I knew that was an event that I would pay out of my pocket for. Clerks 3. I knew that was something that this came out of nowhere because the way they pushed this on us was that it's a real film. This is a real film. It's getting a real release. They didn't make it seem like it was something special. It was going to be an actual film. That was words they used in the articles. It's a real film. It's not a one weekend event. It's not a Fathom event. That was what they said. And then they go back on it by saying, oh, well, wait, but I mean, it is a special event. It's different. It's not a real movie. It's one of those things you have to pay for extra. And I have no problem paying extra for a film because I did for Clerks 3. And if the USB drive that they had sent had not been corrupted, we would have seen it that night. Instead, we saw Barbarian and it's a great film and it was a great night.
Yeah, go back to the archives of the BO Boys to hear all about that. It was a very memorable episode. Clerks 3 and Barbarian.
Yeah, and the faulty USB. But here's the thing, is that this was not up front. It was not up front that everybody, the base, the people who keep the lights on at AMC, the A-list subscribers, would be pushed out and said, oh, guess what? You're going to have to spend an extra $20. So now my subscription for this month is $50. Because of this movie.
Right.
It's not fair. It's not fair and it's exploitative. It's exploiting hardworking people, and I am against that.
So just to put a bow on this, do you currently have a ticket to see this film with our friend? Are you and she, you and her, you and they, you and people, are you going to see this movie? Do you have a ticket?
Yes. And the reason why is because that is about the relationship I have with a person.
Right.
Right. I was not going to bail on this person. Because that's the kind of person I am.
Right.
I am not going to bail on a friend who wants to see a movie that we had made plans to see, even under the understanding that this would be part of our A-list. So I would not back out because of those reasons, right? If it was just me and I was seeing this because of that stupid Twitter poll that I still have not gotten IP addresses of the people who voted.
Well, I don't think you were ever going to get the IP addresses of people.
I asked for the IP addresses. If it was just about Twitter, I wouldn't have done it. But this is about a personal relationship with somebody that I care for and respect, right?
Well, here's what I'll say to that, and that is great, and that is true, and that is the kind of philosophy that is shared more than anyone by the Swifties. Friendship bracelets, and I am glad that, much like the Swifties, friendship,
a parasocial relationship with somebody you don't know is equivalent to a maybe 12, 13-year friendship with somebody else in real life.
Bracelets are the bracelets. So friendship is for the Swifties, and it is for Clayton and his unnamed friend.